two very good defenses on the field today. Both rank in the top 10 in fewest yards allowed, and each wants to prove that it is no fluke. The Panthers are top 10 in defensive yards allowed, and they go up against the Cardinals, who will need to find a way to move the football. Set for the call of this Week 8 matchup, let's bring in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Straight ahead is a rematch of last year's NFC Championship game between the Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. Fozzie Whitaker now on the return. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Stewart is the lone setback. He's going to get the football. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle.
Man left, man left. We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
To throw on second down is Newton. He's got the second team All-Pro from a year ago, Greg Olsen. And he takes it down deep into Arizona territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 53 yards. And now a first down following that long gain.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Stewart, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They'll try and run it. Here's Stewart. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Jonathan Stewart, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers take it right down and score on the opening drive. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They come out here in the eye. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Charles Johnson's stock in trade is coming off the edge and getting to the quarterback. He knows how to make some of those subtle moves inside to help in the run game, and he did it right there.
He's an athlete back in high school, played football, basketball, track, so he's a mobile guy.
Mobile guy, made a nice play against the run.
Here on first down. And he's got the open man. It's Allen on the comebacker. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
They'll throw on first down here with Palmer. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it's good enough for an Arizona first. And he was able to find a very soft spot in that zone coverage.
I love that term, Brandon. That soft spot where you find the open area, set up, and catch the football before the hard collision comes afterwards.
Get ready. Blue 95. Blue 95.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Caught by the rookie James Bradbury. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They start on the ground. It's a Stewart on first. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Now Newton, Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. But fortunately, a Panther was able to get on this, so Carolina keeps the ball.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Newton turns and hands to Stewart. And he stopped immediately there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
On second down, here's Newton. Funches with a catch over the middle. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Throwing on third down, Newton. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And now a high kick trying to pin him back. Pulled in at the 24. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. The Panthers defense, they make their way back out there now.
And now Big Mo's wearing a shirt of their color. They're hoping to continue that momentum in their direction, but maybe another pick.
Who's Big Mo? He's momentum, right?
Momentum. And right now, he's hugging them.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now Palmer to throw on second down. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
On 3rd and 1, it's Palmer fighting through. He's got time in the pocket. Now he'll escape to his right, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Get ready.
Now Palmer on first down. And this is Michael Floyd complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. On second down, here's Palmer. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Now it's Palmer. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Stewart is the lone setback. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Draw play, Newton to Stewart, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
On 1st and 10, Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Everyone go 4 down. Set. 180. Right 20.
To throw on second down is Newton. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 2 yards to go here on 3rd down. Third and 2, Newton. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Throwing on third down, Newton. He's got time. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And he's brought down after a good game. A good pickup there at 22. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to zone.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Second down following the run. On second down, here's Newton. And this will complete right side to Funchess. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. On first down, it's Newton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
On second and 10, Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up a third down. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on third down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
He gets it to Brown, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And Godot's kick is right through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. It's a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
Yeah, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Down. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And he's brought down after a good game. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report.
Well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this third quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. We get a look at the Carolina defense as they work their way into position. They look good in the first half. They'll be looking to carry that momentum over into half number 2.
Finish a game the way you started it. That's typically the message at halftime when things are going well. You've done everything you're expected to do. How about a little bit more of that in the second half? But be aware they may throw something different at you to begin things.
Yeah, 50% of the equation still left to go.
the more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
They stay on the ground on first for Johnson. And he'll get this up to about the 40. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball net because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And that's a good sign right there as we start the third quarter. Because in the first half, not much space to run the football. And as we go into the half, we often think to ourselves, all right, what's the adjustment? What do they have to do? You know what a lot of the adjustments are? No adjustments. You know the game plan, been working on it all week. Maybe a little tweak here or there, a little bit better blocking, and now you're establishing the running game.
Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. Give him 16 on the pickup, and that'll be good for an Arizona first down. Simple slant route, and partner, really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
All right, now, blue 58.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
That was a really nice play. We're able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. On second down, here's Palmer. Caught on the left side, Fitzgerald. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
That's not good.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
All right, now, blue 58.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Keenan Allen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals have retaken the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And the Cardinals now heading out to defend. And they really dug in deep on that last drive. They gave up quite a bit of yardage. Somebody must have said something in the huddle, though, because they got a big stop.
And someone on the sideline said, what took you guys so long before you dug in on that possession? But you're exactly right. To be able to grit it out at the end after giving up such a long drive, they have to feel better about themselves. Now they want to start this possession and not let it get to that extent.
Right, because they gave up the 3 last time. See if they can stop them here. They'll come out in the pistol. An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
First down.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. Following the penalty, here's Stewart. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
This is Stewart again. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw two tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
They'll try the air now with Newton. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he's brought down after a good game. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Another pistol look here. Now Stewart on 1st down. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. One receiver right, that's Brown. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. That is caught at the 7. And he will take it across for the Panthers touchdown. Corey Brown, his first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers have taken the lead here in the 4th. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken near the 13. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
So we've got a 2nd and 5. Now Palmer to throw on 2nd down. Completes it to Fitzgerald. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Throwing now, Palmer on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Coney Ely in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Let's go, let's go.
They toss it out right to Johnson. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 11 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in third and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in third and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down. But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. Palmer now off the bootleg. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before. Getting his feet down. Would you say dotting the I? I can cross the T as well. That was excellent footwork to get in bounds and make a great catch.
Johnson, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
It's not always as trite as that team wanted it more than the other, but on that play, it actually was true. They were faster to the ball.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
Let's go. Blue, 95. Blue, 95.
On second down, Palmer. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off the drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
And if the defense can hold here, this ball game is over.
And they're thinking more than just holding. They're thinking about a takeaway to finish things off.
Back to throw. And that'll be caught by Gresham for a Cardinal touchdown. Jermaine Gresham, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Partner, I know he specializes in the deep strike downfield, but he can be methodical when needed. And on that drive, Carson Palmer put it all together and put his team in front.
And by the way, and I know you know this, but the NFL's leader in game-winning drives a year ago, who was it?
Was it Carson Palmer?
You know the answer. It was Carson Palmer. May have just done it again. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. Back to throw. And Olsen over the middle. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. They'll look to throw. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Oh, now Olsen slow to get up here. Still on the ground. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The line to gain is the 33 on third down. Now it's Newton. Surveying the field. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Desperation time. Newton, fourth down. He gets it to Brown, complete. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Yards still left on second down.
Single, slot. Hey, do something.
Newton. And Dixon over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Back to throw. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. So now one of the biggest kicks. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. With 2 seconds left in regulation, this to force overtime. And his kick is indeed good. And that's going to tie things at 20. Well, the entire 2015 season featured no ties in the National Football League, but we get one here in the 2016 season, don't we?
Yeah, and it's really odd because to go through the whole time and not have that happen because teams tend to get a little more conservative at times when you get to overtime. That's why the ties often result. But as you said, in 2015, not at all. But here we are here. Have one going.
By the way, the last tie, if you're scoring with us at home, and if you are, God bless you. October 2014, the Bengals and the Panthers in Cincy, they tied 37 apiece.
Did you have that one yourself, or did you get that one from Marvin?
No, I was taking a nap. Nothing between these two teams for 4 quarters. Here we go to begin overtime. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either. When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
It's third down, 6 yards to go for the offense. One receiver right, that's Brown. Throwing on third down, Newton. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to his fullback, Mike Tolbert, and it's fourth down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And taken right at the 35. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right, get it to your back, get a lot of people out in front, control the line of scrimmage, wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him, getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down.
He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, Steel Curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the Steel Curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
On third down, Johnson. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. A little educational piece. I know a lot of people here, 3-4, 4-3, etc. Take us through the 4-3, Charles.
Okay, 4-3.
The Panthers are going to take another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com.